Well, the cycling industry is going to explode and disappear in 2023. At least that's the rumor. Hey, let's talk about that today for a little bit. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, that's the rumors I keep hearing on from different places, that the bike industry is in trouble. They're laying off people. They're running super sales. They can't make no money, and it's just going to blow up. Well, what's your thoughts on it? I'd love to hear some of that, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, where it come from and where it's going. So, where did it come from? Well, 2019, the biking industry was doing fine. It wasn't, expanding like crazy, but it wasn't doing badly at all. It was growing like everything else was, slow and steady. Then 2020 come, and here come COVID. And the cycling industry, it just blew up. Why? Well, because it's an outside activity. Anything that was outside really blew up during COVID. The horse industry, I'm very close to that, and it exploded during COVID. Horses that were worth $1,000, now all of a sudden were worth $2,000, $3,000. A beginner safe horse was worth more than a performance horse. And so, things kind of got a little upside down with everything there. And now back to the cycling. Well, a lot of this stuff is made in China, and China was pretty much closed. And so, while everybody was wanting to get these bikes, they weren't producing many more of them. And so now you've got a very high demand and a very low supply, and we all know what that does. It drives the prices on up. And we go through 2020, we go through 2021, and they keep going up, and the industry is seeing that it's blowing up, and so they're responding to that and making more and more stuff. And then partway through 2022, things started going back more towards normal. And so the demand started to drop on down a little bit with them. And the supply was still up. Well, by the time we got to the end of 2022, there was a bigger supply than there was a demand. And so you started to see some sales going on, and especially in the regular bicycles. If you go on to the Specialized website, you'll find sales on there quite a bit of the time on regular bikes. E-bikes, not as much. Now, why is that? Now, when I talk about e-bikes in this conversation, I'm talking specifically about the leisure type e-bikes that you and I are interested in. The electrics, the Rads, the Hemiways, all of the ones that are used for leisure. I'm not talking about the very specialized, mountain e-bikes. We're talking about the leisure ones. And who's that market? Have you ever really thought about who the market for that type of a bike is? Well, I'll tell you what I think. Whoop, there went that bell. Either somebody wants to notice, or an angel got a set of wings. One of the two just happened right there. The market that is buying up these leisure e-bikes is more mature folks. People like myself, Now, I've seen a lot of studies over the last, 15, 20 years that I've started kind of, I'm not going to say studying people, but watching people quite a lot. I've seen a lot of studies that show that it's from the age of 50 to 60, majority of people make the highest income they've ever made. And I found that to be true for myself and for a lot of people that I know. And of course, right alongside of that, your kids are out now, so you're not paying for your kids. A lot of people have, even paid off like they put their kids through college and took a loan out on that, and that's all paid off, or they just paid for it straight up and it's paid off. But you got more disposable income in that time frame than just about any other time in your life. So that certainly helps. But what else is it? Well, I think a lot of people didn't go back, you know, the younger people, the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds. I think a lot of them started going right back to what was going on before COVID. So they went back to swimming and bowling and dancing and, you know, night clubbing and whatever the youngsters are doing nowadays. But the older crowd didn't. Some of them, I'm sure, is because they was concerned over COVID still. But I think a lot of others kind of took a liking to what we were doing here, you know, and irregardless of what it was. I know that's Michelle and I. You know, we used to travel a lot, and I used to get a lot of enjoyment while we were doing that. We don't travel really anymore now, not because we're afraid to travel for any reason, but I really don't want to be stuck somewhere, and have shut down airports so many times. So, you know, we've been doing our traveling a little more like in the southeast, where we're driving via car, and quite frankly that gives us a chance to take our bikes, and I don't want to pay for an extra ticket for my bike. Let's see, which way we're going to go. I think we'll head up this way here. So we don't travel nearly as much as we did before, at least via airplane, you know, travel long distances, but we travel a lot of shorter places and take our bikes with us and enjoy it. And so it's not that we're afraid to go back to something, it's that we found something we really enjoy, and so we're kind of latching on to that. And I think there's a lot of people out there just like that, and I think that's the biggest market that the e-bikes, the leisure type e-bikes, are targeting, is going to be that. So what does that mean? You know, well, if you want to build a bike, you can get a really good deal. This particular bike that I'm riding is a Trek Marlin 7. It's not an e-bike. I mean, it is now, but it wasn't sold to be an e-bike. And I paid last year for this right at $1,100, and that was a retail cost on it. And there was not a nickel off. There was no way. I drove over 250 miles to pick it up, and there was no way the guy was going to give me anything off of it. Well, why would he? Somebody else was going to come in. I'm surprised somebody didn't come in and offer more money for it. And we had a bidding war right there in the showroom. Could have happened, because it happened in a lot of places. And so I'm certainly not going to hold that against him. But today, I could buy the same bike. Now, it was $1,100. I think it was $1,075. I can buy this exact same bike for $875 all day long at a lot of different places. So that's a pretty big sale. Now, your e-bikes, I've seen a few sales on them like they always do, but for the most part, I don't think they're going to be putting them on sale much, because I believe there's still a big demand for them. And so you don't put on sale when you have a high demand for something. That's just not how a business operates. And so I think they're going to stay there. But where can you get some? I do believe the used market get some deals. I believe the used market is going to have some pretty good deals. I think there was a lot of people that bought e-bikes and bikes in general because of the COVID, and they didn't ride them very much. It wasn't as fun as what they thought they was going to be. And so they're sitting there hardly ridden, and they're going to start selling them here. I think that's a very good possibility. You could pick up something. So, you know, if you keep your eyes on all the Craigslist, Penny Saver, or whatever is a Facebook marketplace, I don't know what the latest things are, because I've not looked for that. But if you keep your eyes on that kind of thing, I think you'll get a pretty good deal. Is the industry going to blow up? No, the industry isn't going to blow up. It's not going to explode. I don't think there's going to be a single manufacturer go bankrupt over any of this. I think I want to head back down there, head back to the shop. There's not going to be, I don't believe a single manufacturer will go out of business because of this. If they do, it's not because of this. The manufacturers are going to be just fine, but they are going to take some losses this year. Possibly they took some last year, but then they'll start to recover back again. And that's just the way it is. I mean, that's how business goes. I know, I've been in it myself for an awful lot of years, so I'm not worried that it's going to explode and everybody's going to go out of business and you're not going to be able to get anything. I think actually, quite the contrary, you're going to be able to get some pretty good deals. But then with the inflation, now the prices are going to end up going up again once about the first 6 months of 2023 is over. I expect to see the prices start to go up. So if you're looking for something, you might want to go ahead and try and get it in this first 6 months. And I believe that's going to wrap it up for this one. I'm going to bebop it back on down there, get back to the house, but hey, leave a message in the comments. Tell me what your thoughts are on what's going on with the bike industry. Have you heard the rumors? Have you seen the sales? I haven't been looking for the sales, so I'm not saying they're not there, but I looked around a little bit while I was thinking this over the last couple of weeks, that I was thinking, you know, maybe we'll go ahead and put a little thought into letting people know what my thoughts are on this. So, and I didn't see any real sales to amount to anything with e-bikes, but I've seen a lot of sales on regular bikes. So anyway, put your thoughts down below. Let me know. And until the next time, Internet, hey, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels turning. Once again, we're out.